Welcome on in, guys. This is Three Volt Takes. Chase, Quinn, and Freddie here as always. And man, do I have some of the saddest news in college football. I was trying to play a little fanfare. Sorry, guys. Cam Rising is medically retiring. Yes, the great Utah quarterback, Rose Bowl winning quarterback for Utah, Cam Rising, is officially medically retiring. It is a sad day. We figured this out. Cam Rising posted it himself, saying a farewell to the game. And being the Utah great quarterback that he was, he suffered a hand injury during a Baylor game a couple of seasons ago, and he's seen two orthopedic surgeons, and both of them have advised him to medically retire from the game. He will be returning to his high school, Newberry Park, and becoming offensive coordinator, but will not be playing at Utah any further. Guys, what are we doing on this sad day? Do we pour one out for the guy? Do we cook up a steak or anything?
You know, I I think Cam Rising's story is one of the saddest stories of the last 5 years of college football. Because Chase, what you failed to mention to people was he messed up his hand in that Baylor game and then proceeded to break his entire body every other week for the next 2 years. Like that's how it felt watching Cam try to get back. And you just kept looking at Utah going, man, if they could get him on the field. I think it was a running gag on this show last season, or it might have been the season before last. It was probably both, where every week we got on here and was like, man, if Utah could just get Cam Rising back, they'd be great. I feel terribly for him, man, because he was good. He showed a lot of promise. There was a lot of hope around him, and he hit that high of getting to the Rose Bowl, and then it was just injury after injury, staying on the sideline. And I think this is the best move for him, man. Like, just go ahead and get out of the game. You don't need to be playing, as I think he would have been like a 15th year player or some absurd long amount of time in the sport if he would have kept going. So I think it's the right call to go ahead and step down and start taking all that knowledge that you've gathered over the years at the college level, high end college football, and share that knowledge with other kids who are up and coming and want to become a future star that you desire to be as well. I think it's a at least a glimmer of hope coming out of this story that that's the path he's going. And who knows, maybe in another 20 years we're talking about Cam Rising as the next great coach in the sport of football because of course we would. That would be one heck of a story, wouldn't it? So like I said, I feel bad for him as far as his career goes, and this being the end of his career. But I think it was about time. I don't think he was ever going to actually bounce back and recover to actually play at the level that he would need to be successful. And this is a good path for him to go and share the knowledge he's gathered with future generations of players.
Yeah, I agree. It is sad, and I think it is for the best. And you are right, Quinn. It was the past 2 years we've did the same thing, and um, I think about as an Alabama fan and somebody that lives in the South, we didn't. I personally like to watch the Pac-12 after dark, but I know a lot of people didn't. But I know a lot of people down here watched that Pac-12 championship game against USC when Utah inevitably won that game, and Alabama needed Utah to win that game, and it happened. And so a lot of Alabama fans and people that live down here became Cam Rising fans and followers and supporters because of that game. And so since then, his fame and popularity has kind of exploded. And unfortunately, it's been since then that he has not been able to get back to that level of play. And if you find this on Twitter and you go and read some of the comments, they're kind of funny, but at the same time, it's kind of not. I'll just read one because it's kind of funny. It said that he's retiring to spend time with his grandkid. Was one of the comments. But good on you, Cam, for doing the right thing, and I think you're going to be great. You're going to be a great coach one day in high school, and then as well as in college as well. So good luck on whatever you decide to do. I enjoyed watching you for 9 years or however long you played college athletics for.
Yeah, I'll add this. I never had more faith in anything in the state of Utah until Cam Rising was a youth. That's all I'll say. I think Cam Rising is probably one of my top 5 favorite quarterbacks ever to play in college football. Just loved watching him, and like Quinn mentioned, the kid was just nasty, just gritty, absolutely broke every bone in his body every single week because I think he was the only person on that team that had any offensive specialty. Name me a receiver from Utah in the last 7 years. Name me a running back. I couldn't tell you half of them. How you doing? Cam Rising was that guy. Just absolutely loved watching him. He was so fun just to be out there. And there was just so many games I remember. I was like, man, if Utah, if they had Cam Rising here, they win that game. I was on the board definitely this past year. I still hold true to it. So I don't have to eat my words as much since he was hurt. But if Cam Rising wouldn't have been hurt this past season, if he'd played all 12 games that Utah played, I think they're easily in the college football playoffs. Because that's what we were talking about last offseason. Utah's the Big 12 championship winner. Utah's with Cam Rising healthy, they're good to go. But with him hurt, they just couldn't do what they were. So I think truly he was the lifeblood of Utah. And without him last year, I think you just saw that because they were missing their identity so much last year with him being hurt that they couldn't pull through without him. So it's just one of those, man, that it's sad to watch him go out this way and just for him to be limited because I think he could have been really successful. He could have went down as a great of college football had he been healthy. Like I just read up in this one that I found. I didn't know this, but he'd been at Utah since I think 2021. He at least led them to championships in 2021, 2022, right? For Pac-12. How many total games did he play during his time at Utah that started in, I'm going to assume 2021?
2030. Oh,
And that's including 3 games last year.
Well,
How insane is that he had so many injuries? He has 2 Pac-12 championships, a Rose Bowl, and he only played 30 overall games in the past 4 years. It's crazy. But that kind of shows Cam Rising. Quinn?
I will say this just so that they don't attack us in the comments section. Guys, I don't think Chase is aware that Steve Young also played quarterback inside of the state of Utah. So BYU fans, don't kill us for that. I just wanted to throw that out there. This is a video about Cam Rising, but we are aware that Steve Young was a quarterback in Utah. Don't hurt us. We love you.
The like 70s,
It was the 80s, Chase.
was Jim McMahon, whoever they are. Wasn't that like NAIA ball for BYU? Who cares about it?
They won a national title.
We're talking about Utah, like the Utes. God.
Okay, Alex Smith also played at Utah.
Fine thing for Utah, guys. But yeah, Cam Rising medically retired, and 3 bold takes, and it's a sad day. Flags are at half mast over here. The 3 bold takes flag. It's not up all the way. Yeah, so, but for Cam Rising, we wish the best for you, buddy. From 3 bold takes, we love you so much. We love what you did for the game of college football, and for 3 bold takes itself, guys. Chase, Freddie, and Quinn are logging out.